I need more from everybody at Arsenal Football Club. The owner, Mikel Arteta, the coaching staff, most definitely the players. I'm not even talking about the Premier League. Big up you Arsenal fans that still believe there's a chance to win the Premier League. I've said for a long time, I don't think we can do it because of performances like that. And I must admit, away from ability, it is, as a 29-year-old Arsenal fan, I'm probably spoiled. I know there's some Arsenal fans that are going to sit there and say you have to support the team beyond trophies. Come on now, like, if you're on my channel, you're into balanced content. When things are good, we praise that. When things are negative, it is what it is. I always say Arsenal have no divine right to win trophies. We have won cups and them things, but we're not that team. We're not doing what you've seen Real Madrid, etc. But the manager, the players, whether you believe or not, the owners, everything is geared towards silverware. And you always get so close, not even necessarily this season, even though he's in the semi, you always get so close and you're still so far. And for me, it's unacceptable. Just based on what I'm seeing, I need more. Like, I need more from you lot. As I was saying, for me, it's disappointing. Now I'm at the point where you accept the result, but it's disappointing for me because I've gone from watching my team win a league title at White Hart Lane, Spurs' ground, yeah, and I'm seeing Lehman and Sol Campbell vexed, couldn't care less in that moment about the title because they're not keeping a clean sheet. It's those standards. I'm not naive to think the players and the manager don't care, but performances like that, it for naive fans. It is that. I don't want to hear moaning about if it hit Kai Havertz's hand or not. Of course, that's a talking point, but it shouldn't have got to that. It shouldn't have got to that. Football's decided at both ends. This season, regardless, we've dropped off a cliff defensively. Look at the performances we've been putting in at home, with the exception of Spurs. Newcastle weren't good enough. Man United weren't good enough. Brighton weren't good enough. And in the grand scheme of things, threw things away in 8 minutes. There's everything around this football club, unfortunately, is way too comfortable. And I think it's summed up with the way we perform when we start. There's a theme. We start well. Clearly, Arteta is a madman with the tactics. Team respect us a lot. We start well. We got them pending their own half. We're moving it left and right. Sometimes we get the goals or a goal. Well, no. Sometimes we get a goal. Then we get goals, like you saw us 2-0 up. What's said at half time? We all knew at 1-0 we needed another goal. We all know there was times where Aston Villa, credit to them, credit to them. They've turned that game around. Can't praise them and their boys enough. But how many times did we press? They gave us the ball. You need to them games there. You got two options. You score one, you score two, you score three, you score four, which I think was there in the first half. Or definitely when you concede that goal to make it 2-1, everybody has to reset. Everybody in every fragment of that team has to reset. And you say, what, boys? It's game on now. 2-0 is a dangerous scoreline. 2-1, it can go left. We're gonna try and win this 3-1 or pattern it up, or we're definitely not dropping points here, especially if you still believe you can win the title, because you've messed up your season. You've messed up your season. Like, it was always a big arts, one bit of silverware. You messed up the semi-finals. We hope for a miracle at St. James's Park. The Premier League, if you mathematically, as long as you still got a chance, I don't want the players to believe you can't win it. Even me as a fan, you could have forgot about that on the best of days. Forget about that. Champions League, pipe dream. FA Cup, done. And it's performances like that. Everyone at this club's too comfortable. You're 2-0 up, you're comfortable, you're cruising. We'll never turn up the pressure. We're relying on man that cannot score goals, respectfully to Kai Havertz. I don't care what your statistics say. I'm not even playing him. You're not a goal scorer like that. We're relying on you to get the goals. We're relying on Moreno to bring something to the table. I think a lot of Arsenal fans exaggerate when Thomas Partey is at right back, but I get it when you see not stopping crosses. I'm not seeing leaders in that defense. People are not telling people when to push up, when to sit back. Some people are playing people onside. Nobody's looking over their shoulder. You've thrown it away in 8 minutes. 8 minutes. Half an hour left. 8 minutes. You've gone 2-0 up by the 55th minute. You then concede in the 60th, 5 minutes later. You then mess it up beyond that period, a couple of moments after that. You're messing it around. You mess it up in 8 minutes. Even if we won 3-2 and we got away with it and stuff, I'd still say these things. It ain't good enough. People are not winning their 1v1s. Collectively as a team, we're not defending well. We're not killing teams. Mikel Arteta, everything is in your image, I know you're as disappointed as us, but the money and all these players is because of you. Everybody's at this club because of you. Team, unfortunately, good, bad, and ugly, everything is indirectly the manager's fault, and the team is a reflection of the gaffer. And Arteta, I don't rate Raheem Sterling like that. Clearly, you don't. But what's a man meant to do in 8 minutes? What is a man meant to do in 8 minutes? Really and truly, there's not really any time there. Our squad is down to the bare bones. The mentality is on the floor. Football's decided at both ends. We're not scoring enough, even though, 2 goals I think was enough yesterday. But then I caveat that by saying you're not defending well. If you don't defend well and you don't score your chances, you're in trouble. And then you look at the midfield, what's going on? Odegaard started well again, gone back into a shell. Moreno just not levels. Squad player at best, just not levels. Declan Rice, you try and make things happen, but you can't just be 1 or 2 players, like really on the floor. And then you look at the fitness of the players. You look at the fitness of the players. Bodies are dropping. Still no Audibly, no Calafiori, no Gabriel. For the 1, 2, 3 players, 4 players, handful of players that I actually think are good at this club and levels, you're letting them down. And I wonder, I'm not going to lie, if I'm Saliba, if I'm Saka, if I'm Gabriel Magalhaes, I got 2 years left on my contract. I've been a nearly man. Some of you for club and country, you look around, you lot are not idiots. Whether you rate the manager or not, you lot are not idiots. Look what the manager's bringing in. Look at how the owners are moving and the whole collective ethos beyond the buzzwords. What's going on? As much as I love this club, we're only consistent when it comes to set pieces, which big up Nicholas Hover, and we're only consistent when it comes to bringing out merchandise. And I don't give a flying monkeys about merchandise. You're cheating yourselves. You're cheating us fans. Whether it's fans that are paying money to go to stadiums, whether it's fans in Australia or whatever, Asia, Caribbean, all over the world that are waking up at stupid o'clock to watch this. And we know there's no guarantees, but just put in a performance, man. Just put in a performance, because too many times I look at our club and I think we could have done this, we could have done that. It's not good enough to be good for 20 minutes and poor for the next. It's not good enough to start the game well and not the others. And if you isolate this, we've been seeing this all season. So if nothing changes, nothing changes. I need more. Forget the title and all of that kind of stuff. Of course, I'd love to be wrong, but forget that. I'm talking about just the pride in the shirt, the performances, because I know you lot care. Whether you care enough is another thing. Whether I believe you're good enough is another thing. I know you care. But if I look at it from a naive point of view, you can't tell me that you look like you care on that pitch. Players young and old, 9 times out of 10, it's people like Lewis Skelly, been there 2 minutes, putting in more shifts than everyone else. People are not following runners. People are not being protagonists. People are passing the buck. When things are going well and you're 2 goals up and all that, I'm seeing it. When it's crunch time, man, I'm hiding. And I'm seeing these players break mentally as well, because play to the whistle. I understand the frustration with the ref. Man are surrounding the ref when it's open play. Man are getting fouled and they're just looking at the ref, asking for the foul. Play on. It's the basics. It's the basics. As a club, there's a lot of talk about small margins and fine margins going back to the start of the season. Now you see how important actually capitalizing and I don't even know the word, but actually working on those fine margins, actually working on it rather than talking about it, because you can't show them anything. This season's regression. You're not as good as you were defensively. Don't care about any stats. You're clearly not good in the final third. Clearly. Highlighted by injuries. Clearly. Midfield, don't know what's going on. What fragment on that pitch is there something to be positive about beyond seeing Lewis Skelly get minutes and do his thing? And I actually feel we started the game. The left-hand side looked a bit better. It's when things go wrong, they can in it, and it's like more things are going wrong every weekend for me as well. Beyond the obvious, these recent run of fixtures at home as well. Yeah, you beat Spurs. You should be beating Spurs. Like, Spurs are shit. Anyone half decent is stressing us out. Sean Dyche stressed us out. Brighton stressed us out. Newcastle stressed us out. Man United stressed us out. They're called the villains for a reason. Credit to Villa. They came back from 2-0 down. I wonder if the shoe was on the other foot, would we have come from 2-0 down? But with every week that goes and it becomes even more unrealistic that you're going to win silverware, it won't surprise me when the pressure's fully off, you lot start bopping ball. And I'm not even vexed at you lot. So a lot of you just ain't got it. For what I want Arsenal to be, you just, unfortunately, better of you just don't have it. I can't get angry no more. You just ain't got it, man. So it's disappointing, but I need more. As I said, forget titles and that. Fans that are going to games, fans that are waking up around the world, they don't deserve that, you know. They don't.